The Vikings ruled the seas of medieval Europe, raiding villages and forging legends with their dragon ships. But according to Nordic Sagas, there was a people even these warriors feared to face. In the icy forests of the Taiga, between northern Finland and Russia, lived the Bjarmians, a forgotten tribe that defied invaders with brilliant tactics and impregnable fortifications. Based on historical accounts and archaeological findings, discover how the Bjarmians survived and carved their legend in the northern wilds. In the frozen borderlands between northern Finland and Russia's Kola Peninsula, the Bjarmians thrived. From 800 to 1100 AD, during the height of the Viking Age, this enigmatic people controlled trade routes along the White Sea, rich in furs, amber, and walrus ivory. Unlike others who fell quickly to Viking axes, the Bjarmians maintained their independence with fierce determination. Archaeological excavations reveal fortified settlements designed to repel invaders, showing they not only survived, but prospered where others feared to tread.
The Taiga, with its dense forests, temperatures plunging to -40 degrees Celsius, and months of darkness or midnight sun, was a nightmare for outsiders. But for the Bjarmians, it was home. They moved through the woods with an agility chroniclers called ghostly, as if melting into the trees. The 11th century Byzantine historian Michael Italiotta noted that even the Rus Vikings, seasoned conquerors, spoke cautiously of the forest people who struck without warning and vanished without a trace.
The Bjarmians didn't face Vikings with shields and axes in open battle. They used guerrilla tactics that rendered Norse formations useless. Their arrows, fletched for silent flight, pierced leather armor and chainmail. Narrow, agile skis allowed swift movement through snow, while footwear with retractable bone spikes ensured traction on ice where Vikings slipped. The 12th century historian Saxo Grammaticus described how the Bjarmians lured Vikings into trap-laden paths, blocking escape routes with felled trees before striking. Nordic Sagas, blending history and myth, reveal the Vikings' respect for the Bjarmians. In the 13th century Saga of Egil, the warrior Thorolf Kelson leads an expedition into Bjarmian lands. What seemed a routine raid turned into a nightmare. Arrows came from the darkness, and the Bjarmians melted like shadows among the trees. Of the 30 men who entered the forest, only 7 returned. The Orvar Odd describes ambushes where Bjarmians appeared from the snow itself, rendering shield walls useless. The Ynglinga saga records a Viking chieftain advising, "Seek glory in the west, for the eastern forests belong to those who know secrets we don't." Archaeology confirms the saga's tales. In Viking graves near Bjarmian territory, we find defensive weapons and protective amulets in unusual numbers, a sign they feared a unique enemy. A sword found near Arkhangelsk bears a runic inscription, "Beware the Watchers of the White Forest," a rare testament to fear in a culture that glorified death in battle. Bjarmian settlements reveal sophisticated fortifications, with walls and ingenious traps designed to stop invaders before they reach the villages. The Bjarmians didn't just intimidate with weapons, but also with their customs. Their tombs, unlike Viking burials with weapons and cremations, contained objects arranged in geometric patterns, possibly tied to astronomical rituals. Reports suggest they preserved their dead, perhaps through mummification, shocking Vikings accustomed to different rites. Their society was unique. Women fought alongside men with equal ferocity. A Varangian chronicler wrote, "Among this people, a woman's arrow strikes as true as a man's.
challenging Viking expectations that only men were warriors.
Despite conflicts, Vikings and Bjarmians maintained a complex trade relationship. The Kosmuggery hoard, discovered in 1989 with 1,700 silver coins and Byzantine, Arab, and Norse goods, proves trade thrived even in wartime. Vikings received high-quality furs, Baltic amber, and walrus ivory crafted with Bjarmian skill. In return, the Bjarmians gained iron tools, textiles, and exotic items from distant markets like Baghdad and Constantinople. The saga of Gort Trek mentions neutral trade zones where neither side held the upper hand, and excavations in Kandalaxa reveal structures designed for safe winter exchanges with separate entrances and strategic fires.
The Bjarmians' resistance created an impenetrable eastern barrier. While Vikings conquered lands in the west like Brittany and Ireland, in Bjarmian territory they were limited to trade outposts. This resistance forced the Norse to seek alternative routes, deepening their presence in Russian rivers and contributing to the rise of the Kievan Rus. Genetic studies show minimal Viking influence beyond this frontier, proving the Bjarmians not only survived but shaped the fate of Northern Europe.
The Bjarmians were more than an obstacle to the Vikings. They were a force that challenged the greatest warrior myth of the Viking Age. With brilliant tactics, a unique connection to the Taiga, and a society that baffled invaders, they created a frontier the Norse dared not cross in force. Their legacy lives in the icy forests, the sagas that whisper their name, and the artifacts that tell their story of resistance.